Hey everyone, today we're here with Nicolas Miranda once again in our video series about visas and migration system here in Australia. Nicolas Miranda is a registered migration agent for Visado Migration Services Agency, and here we have him and we invite him every time for him to give us all his information and all his experience into all the different visas. So Nicolas, welcome back to our video series. Let's get going.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks. Excited to be here as always. Thanks.
So, guys, thanks, Nick. Before we continue, and today we're gonna be talking about the temporary graduate visa. I'll please ask you to hit the bell button and also the like button and subscribe to this channel so that you get all the updates and upgrades about the visas and migration here in Australia. So let's get going. We have been recording with Nicolas about the graduate visas, the different type of graduate visas, the different streams, whether you can do it with a vocational course or just only with graduate or professional courses. But today we're going to be talking about something that we haven't really explain about. We have touched a bit in each of our videos, but we haven't really said or mentioned about the requirements of the graduate visas, and I believe there will be different requirements for both streams. So Nick, tell us a little bit about the requirements of this visa.
So there are some key requirements for the visas, and like you've touched on, we have two streams, so graduate and post-study stream. The graduate visa is an interesting visa because it also has some time of application requirements, meaning when you apply for the visa, you need to have these things there. Now, those are three documents or three things. So one is confirming that you have the correct level of English. So if you don't have a passport from one of the English-speaking countries, as named, you then obviously have the level required, which is a 6 in the IELTS or the equivalent in other exams. And the department makes the English level quite clear as well. The other thing is you need to show that you've made an application for your Australian Federal Police clearance or your Australian police check. Okay, it's a specific one which you need to apply for, but they want to see that you've made an effort to apply for that, meaning you've got a registration of having applied for that. The third document, which is relevant for both visas, is you have the appropriate overseas visitors' health insurance or health coverage. So you need to have health insurance, basically. So when we're looking at the post-study stream, those are the three documents we need. Obviously, you need to show that you've also completed your studies. You've got the completion letter, and no more than 6 months have passed since you finished that course. With regards to the graduate stream, you want to show you've completed your studies, but also that you've applied for a skills assessment, which is relevant to the occupation that you're choosing. So you don't have to have the skills assessment because this can take some time, but at least you've applied for that skills assessment. That's what they're also looking for. So that would summarize for both post-study and graduate visa.
So Nick, so basically we have the three things that you said at the beginning, three requirements. One is the police check, the other one is the insurance, and the third one is the level of English. I've heard that based on what's happening now, everything is being delayed, or for some reason, there's been changes in the language requirement. What are these changes?
Yeah, so if we're all up to date with the COVID-19 pandemic, the department made some changes where they've basically advertised these changes on their website. So whilst the law still remains the same, meaning the Migration Act has not been changed, the actual announcement by the department has been that things such as getting your English, showing that you've got a booking for an English exam is enough. Obviously you still need to have the result you still need to get the result they need, but just showing that you've made a booking is enough. Sometimes even
for the application.
For the application, yeah. So at the time of application, you've shown that you've actually got a booking. that's fine. They'll accept your application.
So that doesn't mean that I don't need the English requirement. It means that they're actually giving the chance for you to book, and even if it takes a month, you'll have to have the results. Now, what happens if I don't get the results? I mean, like if I don't get the 6, that visa will be not one of the requirements
Is
you're not
met.
meeting,
That's
and
right.
that's it. Okay, good. Now, there's something that a lot of international students ask, and is, can I add my partner to this visa, to the 485? That could be probably being, can we apply with a partner, or can I add a partner to my visa?
So you can apply for the 485 at the same time, including your family members. That includes partners and children, so that's fine. You can do that. If they're your partner, you want to show that you've been either in a de facto or a married relationship. So you're living together, obviously, and meeting all those other requirements. If it's a subsequent 485 application, so a subsequent entrant, then you need to make sure that you've named your partner in the original application. So you need to make sure that you've named your partner as being a member of your family unit when you've gone and made the application for the 485, the original application. They don't have, now when I say named, I mean you've named them in the application as being a member of your unit, but you're not applying for a visa for them at that time. Subsequent to that, they're now going to apply for the visa, and they've been named on the application, so there shouldn't be any restrictions with them applying.
Okay, very good. And for the coming back to the requirements, I know you mentioned that it's a 6 months period after you finish your studies, and that's what pretty much most of the people will do. When you mention something about you have to apply for this skill assessment, how long does it take?
It depends on the skills assessment body. So TRA could take, TRA does a lot of the skills assessments for a majority of the occupation, so Trade Record Recognition Australia. Look, they can take 2 months, 3 months, depends on how busy they are.
And immigration will wait until then so that they can grant a visa.
Exactly. So immigration is happy to wait. They won't make a decision until they have that decision. They may if more than 3 months passes and you are yet to provide that document, they may contact you to find out about that and say, hey, what's going on? But at some point, the department will have to make a decision on that visa application.
Okay, fantastic. So I think we have clearly said, put into this video about what the requirements are. So pretty much, if it's a postgraduate or a graduate, it's a post-study or a graduate, you'll have to have your studies, and for the post-study, you'll have to have the skill assessment, and then for both of them, the 3 first requirements that you mentioned. That's pretty much it. It's pretty much a very straightforward application.
It is definitely a straightforward application. If obviously, like any application, if you have all the correct all the correct forms, it's just being aware of time, like you're saying. 6 month requirement, having the right skills assessment. All these things obviously begin to add up, and perhaps turn it into a slightly more complicated or complex application.
Now, for you that have been watching this video, listening to this audio, I'll recommend you that if you're studying already in Australia, 6 months before you graduate, actually getting ready the documents. I cannot stress more about this, doing it on time, because there's something that always happens at the end, and then you don't have, and the time is running short, and probably something happens, or there's an update in the immigration website. There's always something that put a lot of stress. So I cannot stress more about getting your documentations ready, and one of that is the English language, which is, if you're gonna do it as soon as possible. If you don't do it with IELTS, you can do it with the PTE, which a lot of people say is easier or is more relevant to the level of English, etc., etc., etc. But find a way to get that, because you're like a couple of points away of actually getting a big visa, which is a graduate visa, which might lead you to a permanent residency, as we mentioned in another video. So guys, Nick, thanks a lot for this time again, and for putting all your effort and information and experience, and to leave it to all our audiences. And don't forget to hit that bell button, because it helps us a lot to share with other people, and if you share it, obviously help a lot more. But also to subscribe, because this will be not the only video that you'll be watching, but also will be giving updates and upgrades about different visas, different programs, different migration. The migration system, will be talking a lot of different things, and if you want to just drop us a question there, we can also answer in the next video. So thanks a lot for staying tuned, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.